Good vibes are on the way.
I love the feel-good stories.
Oh, there'll be sarcasm mixed in, but that just adds to her charm.
So great. I love listening.
Welcome to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency.
Hi, welcome back to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency. I'm Aaron. It's wonderful to have you along today. So, no word of a lie, I have been stalking this poor woman for several months now because I heard about the organization and I loved it so much that I was emailing and messaging and, hey, when can I have you on the podcast? And finally, I was able to get Tasia on with me. She is one of the board members for an incredible organization out of St. Thomas called Pets with Wings. And I can't wait for you to hear all about it now. I am with Tasia Ortega. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, of course.
You are in St. Thomas and I am jealous.
Yes.
So how long have you lived there? Are you from there?
I'm not. I'm originally from Colorado, but I've been here 11 years now.
Oh, wow. It's got to feel
Yeah.
almost like home. I wouldn't want to
Yeah.
leave either. Even when I go on vacation there, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, I miss my family and my friends, but this is, yeah, it's like home now at this point.
I don't blame you for not leaving. So you work with an organization that I have been fascinated with for months. So I so thank you for taking time to explain what you do. It is called Pets with Wings,
Mm-hmm.
and it is out of St. Thomas. Can you explain how and why Pets with Wings started?
St. Thomas and really throughout the Caribbean, there is overpopulation of stray animals, homeless animals, and not enough homes on the island for the amount of animals that there are. We're talking dogs and cats. Unfortunately, because of like cultural beliefs, spay neuter is kind of an afterthought for a lot of these owners, and the layout of housing on the islands, there's not structured neighborhoods like you find in the States. So a lot of homes don't have like fenced in yards. So then you have unaltered animals just kind of roaming around, continually breeding and having litters of puppies and kittens, and then those babies are kind of on the same life path as their parents, and they roam around unaltered and they have litters of puppies and kittens. And so because of that, there is a large population of unhomed or owned but unmanaged animals. And so for our island particularly, we have one shelter, one humane society, and they can only hold so many animals, right? I think
Right.
their capacity is like 45 dogs in large kennels. They have a room for puppies and they have a cat house. But their capacity to hold the amount of animals that there are just is very limited. And so this program started long before I was on St. Thomas. It started back in 2012 by two ladies, Leslie Hurd and Ria Vasconcelos. And Ria is actually still the president of Pets with Wings.
Oh, I love
And
that.
Lisa has since moved off island, but they saw the need to move animals off island in order for them to have the chance at a life and at a home and things. This was their baby. And so basically the program is we fly homeless animals off island to partner rescues in the States. So whether that be community animals or animals out of the shelter, we arrange for transportation to fly them off island. On a daily basis, we fly smaller animals. You're talking puppies, kittens, and cats. In small, like soft-sided carriers, we fly them off island in cabin with travelers. So we have flyers and things set up at the airports and in Airbnbs here on island and things like that for people to reach out to us. So basically, if you contact us with your flight information, we contact our rescues in the state that you would be flying back to and ask if they have space for an animal. If they have space, then we arrange the transport and we meet you at the airport. We hand off the animal to you, and you basically are just escorting this animal to the next destination. And once you get to your final destination, someone from that partnering rescue meets you and you hand off the animal to them at that point.
This is an unbelievable organization.
Yeah.
Just the amount of logistics that are involved with all of this, that in and of itself has to be a full-time job. How many
It
people
can
do you
be.
have at Pets with Wings working on those details of just flying the animals?
So we are run by a board. There's 7 of us on the board. So there's Rhea, who's our president, Tammy, who's our vice president, Annette's our treasurer, I'm the secretary, and then we have Melissa, Karen, and Cassidy, who are all just board members. Each one of us kind of has our own role in the logistics of the transporting. So Tammy primarily deals with like our puppies and finding rescues for them and dealing with the travelers and setting all of that up. Melissa deals with our cats and kittens mostly. She has her own rescue, actually. It's called the Kitten Fight Club. And
Oh,
so a lot of it helps with that because she already has the connections to all the cat rescue. So she primarily deals with that. So those are our daily kind of transports to get animals out. Now, when you start talking about larger dogs that cannot fit in small bags under the seat in the cabin, that turns into a larger endeavor. And so those transports are primarily run with Karen and Rhea. And that is logistically a lot of moving parts because those transports consist of 20 to 25 large dogs. And again, we have to reach out to rescues. We have to make sure that rescues have space for them, that they have fosters for them, and things like that. And once that ball gets rolling, the process of that is a lot. So basically, our animals, once a transport gets started, they leave St. Thomas, usually around 9 o'clock in the morning. They go through Amerijet, which is a cargo plane. We load them up on the cargo plane. They go from here to Puerto Rico. They have to overnight at a boarding facility in Puerto Rico. They then get loaded back onto another cargo plane and they make their way to Miami. And then once they get to Miami, we have ground transportation set up that meets at the Miami airport. And the dogs are dispersed by what area of the states they're going to. And that
wow.
ground transportation drives them from Miami to whatever state that they're going to.
So the ground transportation that you're talking about, are they these representatives from shelters, or is this some other organization that you work with that helps you get these dogs to where they need to go?
Yeah, so sometimes the rescues will send their own ground transportation, but it's mostly a company that we use. The guy, his name is Mason. We've worked with him for years. So he kind of has it down on where to go, how to get the dogs cleared, because we have to clear customs. We have to have all the right paperwork. We have to have all the right vaccines, like all of that. So the whole team that we have that works on these transportations has really been doing this for multiple years, and they all know like what needs to be done and what time frame it needs to be done and things like that. So Mason will pick up the dogs, he'll load them up on his van, and he'll drive from Miami to Pennsylvania, or he'll drive from Miami to Maine, wherever the dogs are going.
Oh my
And so
gosh.
you figure if we send a transport on Monday, realistically, the dogs aren't fully getting to where they need to be until Friday, right? So you're
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
week long endeavor that takes place. So those transports are a massive undertaking.
So that's always the way the big dogs get over to the mainland. There's
Yes.
never somebody that says, "Oh, I'll take a big dog and put them underneath the plane," and it's always done the way that you explained it?
Yeah, so unfortunately, since COVID, we have not been able to fly big dogs in the cargo hold of the airplanes. Before COVID, we did fly big dogs. In fact, that was one of my first experiences with Pets with Wings, was flying a dog, like escorting a dog from here to Colorado. And
Oh,
it was a large 50-pound dog. He went in the cargo hold and I picked him up from baggage claim in Colorado, and met him with his new parents and handed him off to his new family. But after COVID, the airlines really they got stricter on how animals travel, and that unfortunately was one of the pieces, was they don't allow animals in cargo hold anymore. So
now did you already work for Pets with Wings when you did that transport?
no, no.
How did you even hear about them to do it?
Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have a big banner in the airport. So when travelers fly into St. Thomas, there's a big banner over the baggage claim that they can, go online, they can contact us. I mean, we rely heavily on our tourism here for travelers going back to the States, right?
Sure.
So we try to utilize that by having flyers in Airbnbs and restaurants. And we have events throughout the year as well, where we just had a brunch on this last Sunday at one of the restaurants here.
Is that dive bar, or you had a benefit brunch over the weekend? I was reading.
Yeah, we had a benefit brunch at Hotel 1829. It's a historic hotel here on St. Thomas. And so we were able to do that.
Yeah, you raised over $2,200 at a
Yeah.
brunch. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was reading about some of the great events you do. We talked before your first annual pet gala that had cocktails and a dinner and an auction. That looked incredible.
Yeah.
You also do a sunset sail. You did that in April. You had a card game at Dive Bar in February. I'm like, this is so, you're always getting out and fundraising. I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, we have to, right? We don't get money from the government in any way. So our entire operation is solely funded off of donations. So we have to stay out in the public eye continually, like doing things and coming up with new ways to raise money. We do have a handful of like committed donors that continually give to us, which we love and appreciate more than words could ever explain.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's where all of our money comes from. And if we don't have donations coming in, then we can't send any animals out. So yeah.
Right. Hugely important. Hugely
Yeah.
important. And I love the fact that the entire board is female. You go,
Yeah.
girls. You're all people after my own heart. I have the softest spot for animals, and
Yeah.
I've always had dogs, and I love what you are doing there. In fact, it's hard when I go to a different country, even like you said, in St. Thomas, St. Martin, I see strays and I just want to take them all home with. I get
Yeah.
so upset. It's awful to see that because it's really different in
It
different
is.
countries than it is here in the mainland of the US
Yeah.
with pets. Like you said, they're really not spayed and neutered. And then it's just this cycle that never ends.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And I love that on your website, you have so many success stories and
Mhm.
the dogs look happy and their owners look so excited.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Is like getting those updates of the animals, the cats, the dogs that make it to a rescue, that get adopted, and then it kind of full circles back around and you get the update and you're like, this is my dog that I adopted 2 years ago. This is a cat that I got from this rescue 3 years ago, and they're from St. Thomas and they're doing so well and they're so happy. So like that really keeps us going and keeps us pushing for what we're doing.
Oh, it's got to give you such motivation when you hear back and you see pictures of just happy families. Like, this makes it all worth it. I think it's so remarkable the way that you have advertised. It's so smart because
Yeah.
I found you on Facebook because I'm always looking, and I guess it just was part of the algorithm because I'm always looking at different shelters and how can I help, and that just sort of came up and I went, oh my gosh, what is this? This is so great. And then to see that you're not an adoption agency, and I
No.
know you said that on social media a couple different times because people will see a dog or a cat and be, oh my gosh, I want that dog. And then over and over again, it's like, thank you for your interest, but we're not the actual adoption agency.
Yeah.
However, you can go to, and so I think people automatically assume that you have all the dogs just hanging out there with you on the runway or something, and you're just putting them on a plane and
Scanning
sending
them
them
out.
over here. It doesn't work that way.
No.
So
no.
how do people, let's say, because I know Massachusetts is on the list of states. So if you were going to fly some dogs and cats to Massachusetts, would you say, hey, if you are in Massachusetts, we have animals going to this shelter, check this shelter's website out? Or is that how people find out that they're up here? Or is it sort of like pass the baton and then the shelter here says, we just got animals in from St. Thomas? How is that moved forward to the actual adoption center?
Yeah, so we're just the middleman, right? Like we're just
Yeah.
the transport company and we just get them to where they're going. So
Mhm.
once they're at the actual rescue that's taken them in, we do just kind of pass the baton on to them, and then they do their own advertising, marketing, whatever for animals that they have. Now, that's not to say if we don't see a post of one of our animals that's looking for a home, we will absolutely share it and say, hey, like if you're in this area, head over to this rescue and look at the animals that they have. I mean, I also foster tons of puppies through Pets with Wings. And so if I see my puppies are still looking for a home or up for adoption, I will always share the post and just let people know, if you're looking for something in this area, look at this rescue. They have some of our animals there. But we really do just like pass it on to the rescue that they're going to find homes for them past the point that we hand them off.
Have you ever had anyone who was flying back with a little doggy or kitty underneath the seat in front of them, and then they get there and they're like, you know what? I don't really want to give this to anybody except me. Have you had people that have said, this is the sweetest animal and I really don't want to give him or her up?
Yeah.
And then what happens? I can imagine that happening with me.
I can't off of the top of my head think of that happening, but I'm sure it has. I mean, honestly, like at that point, I would just have them contact the rescue that the animal was supposed to go to. I'm sure the rescue would have no problem.
Instead of a foster fail, it's an escort fail.
Yes, an escort fail.
I could definitely see that being me for sure.
People call us all the time from the resorts too, and they're like, oh, there's a cat that I met on the beach that I absolutely fell in love with, and I want to take it home with me. Like, what do I need to do? And we'll walk them through the process of what they need to do. Because at that point, it's really just a matter of like getting the animal to the vet, getting a health certificate, getting whatever vaccines they need to travel with, and then helping them book their ticket with the airline.
That is so great that you do that too, because I would think that the Humane Society there would do that. But I love that you will even help with that area of it. That's above and beyond. That's so great.
I mean, it's really just about getting the most amount of animals off of St. Thomas as possible and like into homes in the States. And I mean, we primarily work on St. Thomas and with animals on St. Thomas, but we've helped partners in BVI get animals to the States. We've helped with rescue partners in St. Croix getting animals to the States. So if they get them to St. Thomas and they need help getting them further, I mean, we're always open and willing to step in any way that we can. So
you are such an incredible organization. Pets with Wings. I absolutely love everything that you do. It's such a necessity, obviously. I wish every island had something like this because you are saving lives daily. Last year, I was looking at the stats, 475 dogs and cats got a new lease on life by coming over here to the U.S. mainland. That's incredible. Well done. You do all the paperwork because I was looking at this part of it too. I think it's so smart the way that you're doing your marketing by having a massive banner right above the baggage area as people are getting there and seeing it and going, oh, what's this? You know what? I could take an animal back with me. That wouldn't be that big of a deal. And I could really help out. I mean, the fact that you have it there is so smart. And then in the Airbnbs and the little beds and breakfasts that they would stay in and hotels, I mean, really, that's the place to do it. Because like you said, it's the tourists that make the biggest impact with this. And the fact that you will pay the airline fee and make sure that they have all the paperwork that they need. You really do everything. You've been doing it for so long and you know exactly what is necessary and needed for these animals to successfully get here.
Yeah, and I mean, the easier we make it for travelers, then the more participants that we'll have, right? So like if there's something more that they have to do, they're less likely to want to volunteer to do it. So if we just take care of everything for them and we're like, meet me at the airport at 10 o'clock on this day, and we literally just meet them at the airport, hand off the animal and say, okay, so-and-so is meeting you on the other end. Here's their phone number, and just make it as easy as possible. That's what gives us even repeat customers and people that come every year, or even people that live here but are going back come back continually asking if they can escort animals. And it's because we make it so easy for them.
I was wondering if you've had repeat people, like
Mhm.
tourists come and say, "Hey, I did this before. I'd love to do it again." I think that is a really smart line of communication to keep open with people like that, because if they've done it once and they had a successful, easy experience, they're so much more likely to do it again.
Exactly. Yep.
So smart. So I also saw and thought this was, again, genius, that whoever's escorting the animals, you give them business cards too, because people in the
Yep.
airport will ask, "Oh, you brought your dog here?" or what? And then they say, "Oh no, I'm actually escorting this dog
Yep.
to give it a new life," and what, and then they have the business cards too. So you have nailed the marketing and promotion of
Yeah.
Pets with Wings perfectly. When I saw that, I went, now this is absolutely successful for
Mhm.
very good, obvious reasons. That
Yeah.
is genius. So the
Yeah.
mission overall is to get these dogs and cats into homes, places, shelters in the mainland where they're going to be with loving families and they can get spayed and neutered and not live on the streets. And that is such a beautiful thing that you are doing. I thank
Yeah.
you so much for it. You are saving lives every day. You're
Thank
doing
you.
incredible work.
Thank you.
God bless you. Special place in heaven for you. So it is Pets with Wings Saint T. So it's basically Pets with Wings, ST, and then another T.com is your website.
Yes.
And people can go and check out. There's the success stories, there's ways to donate, things that you
Yes.
maybe need, and all of that can be found there.
Yeah, so our website has everything there. It has contact information, phone numbers. If you want it to become like a yearly donor, or if you wanted to donate one time, all of our PayPal, Venmo information is on there. If you're coming to visit and you wanted information or you wanted to send your information for traveling, the email address is on there, and it's petswwings@gmail.com. And just all the information about how we got started, our numbers from previous years, how many animals we've transported. We're already at close to 200 animals for the year now.
Wow.
Our website doesn't reflect the 2 larger transports that we did in May, and we just did another one last week, actually. And I tell everyone, like, if you can't donate, like our page, share, and comment on all of our posts on Facebook and Instagram. If you're able to donate $5, $10, I mean, every little bit helps get us to being able to continue the work that we're doing as far as sending as many animals as we can off island to our partner rescues or even sometimes to adopters in the States. So,
Mhm.
I mean, every little bit of support helps continue what we're doing.
And are you always looking for other shelters? Do people reach out to you, or do you call different shelters in different states to try to get them on board?
We are always looking for more partners, and we primarily deal with rescues that most of our rescues are foster-based rescues, so we know that they're going directly into foster homes and not into like brick and mortar shelters. Not to say that if there was one that reached out to us that we're not willing to work with them, but that's primarily what we look for. But yes, we're always looking for new partners and we're always reaching out. But if there's anyone that wants to reach out to us and start a conversation about a partnership, that would be amazing. And I guess it all kind of goes down to like where they're located too, right?
Sure.
So we're always looking for partners in places that there's direct flights from here to the States,
Mhm.
mostly places like Newark, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, like places like that. Not to say that having a layover is like not.
It's probably acceptable. It's just not the preferred route.
I mean, we're always looking for more partners. One of our biggest supporters is Stray Rescue of St. Louis, and they take a lot of our animals in. In fact, Cassidy, she's on our board. She's the CEO of Stray Rescue, and she's on the board with us. She used to live here, and so when she left, St. Thomas was always like a soft spot for her. And so she takes a lot of our coconut retrievers in. That's what we call our dogs here, coconut retrievers.
Oh, I was like, what is a coconut retriever? I've never
Yeah,
heard of that kind of
That's what
dog.
we call them.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
What is that? That's excellent information, and I hope lots of different shelters reach out to you. You are also on social media. I
Yes.
was earlier today on your Instagram page. You have almost 8,000 people on just your Facebook page, so you're
Yeah.
definitely out there. The word is out. Social media is always active. Tasia, I will forever be grateful, and I speak for dogs and cats when I say thank God for you guys, and I can't say enough good things about the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for doing it. And it's
Yeah.
Pets with Wings, STT.com. Help
Yes.
out, donate if you can. It's for a great cause and
Yeah.
an all female board that are
Yeah.
killing it. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you. Of course.
You see why I wanted to have her on? I think Pets with Wings is a beautiful nonprofit. They are literally saving lives daily. And Tasia and I were talking after we turned the microphones off, and she was telling me that this is not her full-time job. I mean, everyone on the board, it kind of is a full-time job, but they have another one too. The one that really actually helps them be able to eat and live on St. Thomas. So all of these people are incredible humans that are going above and beyond to make sure that these animals have a life with humans that will take care of them. And I just can't thank them enough for it. We were also talking after the mics were off, and I was just asking about the price of things. I didn't know if she wanted to talk about that specific part of it, but she did. She said, hey, feel free to share this. So anytime somebody takes a smaller animal like a kitten, a cat, or a small dog with them on a plane back to the mainland, it's about $150 to have the carrier right under the seat in front of you. Pets with Wings absolutely will take care of everything, but so many people who transport these animals end up saying, you know what, I'll just pay the $150. I'll pay that transport fee, and it'll kind of be like a donation, and I'm happy to do it, that's so above and beyond too. I think that's incredible that so many of the escorts have volunteered to do that and have done it and paid for it. When they do the big cargo plane transport that she was telling us about for the big dogs, that is between $20,000 and $25,000 every time they do it. And they've already done that 4 times this year alone. So it is not a cheap thing to do, but it's life-saving. And that is why they're always doing fundraisers, wonderful fundraisers, and a lot of generosity out there for the animals and for these people that are doing such great work. So thank you again for your time and for all you do for these doggies and kitties. If you know somebody that is making the world a better place, could be a little thing, could be a big thing. I just want to hear about it. ErinO'Malley'sFrequency.com is my website. You can email me straight through it and I'll get right back to you. ErinO'Malley'sFrequency.com. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great week. Bye.